So this week's question is from Bianca. She asks, how do you and should you stretch out your baby's awake time if they're crying from tiredness? What's the best way to do this, i.e. gradually from the start? So gradually from the start, what does she mean by that, do we think?
I'm a bit confused.
I think, is she asking from the start as in when you first implement the routine with a newborn baby that you've just brought home?
Okay. I think it's a good question if we were to slightly change it to, first of all, she said her baby's crying a tired cry. So I don't think she's new to this because otherwise she wouldn't know what the cry was. So if she's saying that her baby's crying a tired cry, do you know what a lot of people miss? In the book, on page, depending on which book you have. So open your book on page 120.
I love that you know the pages.
Oh, I must have a really old book because it ain't on my page 120. Page 119. I do, I know the pages. Okay, so here we go. Here's an example, yeah? Page 120 of this book looks like this. Yeah? And hold yours up.
Oh, we're showing.
So this is a new book.
Our YouTube followers here.
So if you look at this, right, people miss these tips.
Ah, yes.
So these tips, so you're on page 119. So these tips used to be here on page 119.
Right.
But the problem was that people thought the tips belonged to this routine, because at the end of each routine there's a tip.
Yes.
And people thought the tip belonged to the routine.
Yes.
So then people who pick up the book and just read the routines miss the tips, but those tips belong to all of these routines.
Okay, they're just general tips.
So this is how the book changes. Okay. So in the most current copy of the book, even though they've got the same cover, they're still different.
Okay.
In the most current copy of the book, the tips have been moved to be clearer on page 120. So she's got a tired baby. If you read the tips, it says, if your baby, you can put your baby down for a sleep sooner. So if your baby's crying because it's tired, Bianca, it's okay to put your baby down for a sleep, so long as your baby still makes it to the next feed time. So Bianca, if you truly believe that your baby is crying because they are tired, you may put your baby down to bed. You don't have to go, oh, but the routine says this time. The routines are a guide. And this is where the publisher upset me in the first book. It's changed now. Okay. The original book said, you must adhere to this routine in order for this to work. You must adhere to this routine in order for this. You must adhere. Oh, it was horrible. But that's not in this book now because we've taken that little bit out. But so if Bianca, if your baby's tired, yes, you may put your baby down to sleep earlier so long as they still get to the feed time. Okay. If they don't get to the feed time, then I would say just hold, if you're thinking they're tired and they're crying and they're grizzly, take them for a change of scenery, like outside, show them the trees, show them the birds, see if that calms them down. You know, if that doesn't calm them down, try playing with some water with them. But if they're really tired, then they probably will need to go to bed, and that's okay. You can put them to bed early. And the other thing is if they're hungry. So if they wake up and they're screaming and you think they want food, pick them up, keep them wrapped, hold them, tap them back to the rhythm of your heartbeat, maybe shove your little finger in if it's clean, let them have a suck and get them to the next feed time. So that's it for today.
That's it.